Hi everyone, and welcome to yet another installment in the AgilePoint Generative AI video series. This time, we're talking about how you can take an image or a screenshot of a form or existing application and turn it into a working AgilePoint business app in mere moments. So to get started, let's take a look at the basis for our new application. And as you're seeing on screen here, I've taken a screenshot of a sales order application built in a competitive platform. Across the top, the order information, the date and time of the order, status, as well as any PO reference. The middle section deals with customer information like their name as well as description, order details like the amount, currency, freight terms, and shipping method. And then finally at the bottom, the delivery address. So let's head into the App Builder module and get started. So we're going to start off today with a form-based application, and we'll give our application a name. We'll drop our application into a category. Now, for those of you who have been following the Gen AI video series for some time now, you know that we are not creating a widget form. If you're seeing this sort of video for the first time, a widget form is created with the express purpose of hosting on a landing page. So that doesn't apply to us, so let's leave not required selected. And of course, we want to create this application using AI. Now in past videos, I've shown a few of the options that you're seeing here on screen. Our first video was all about using prompts. That's the Let AI Decide option, where we provided a description of the application that we want to build. That was followed by a PDF example. Whether it's fillable or a static PDF, we can simply upload that to AgilePoint and have it transformed into a working app. But as we mentioned at the top of the video, today is all about using images or screenshots. Now as a next step, AgilePoint is asking me, where does this image reside? In my case, I have it here locally in my file system. But as you're seeing on screen, this could be hosted in one of the repositories that you're seeing on screen. I can browse, select it, and get started that way. But again, in my case, it's local here to my file system, so I'm just going to drag it over. Okay, so it's going to take a second or two for AgilePoint to ingest and understand the image. And then from there, we're off and running. Okay, so our image is uploaded. So as you're seeing here on screen, there's a number of fields that are being suggested, but don't worry, we can always massage the results that have come back here. By that I mean reclassify them from a data or field type perspective, rearrange, add or remove fields, and you're going to see examples of each of those actions here before we finish. Okay, so for the order date field, if you remember in our image, that captured both the date as well as the time of the purchase. So fortunately for us, in AgilePoint, we have a combination control that captures both the date as well as the time. Order status, as you're seeing here, has been suggested as a type of pick list. That works well for me, but I want to go ahead and use a pick list that was created previously. So in my case, I should have a pick list called order status. Go ahead and select that. Now for the customer PO reference field, you're seeing here that this is giving me an error. The field name is longer than 30 characters. So let's go ahead and fix that. Customer PO reference. Now as of now, this has been suggested as a type of text, but we know that we have a sequence number so that each time this application runs, it will be given a unique identifier. And then lastly, let's just take this and drag it towards the top. So from here, let's just go down the rest of the list and reclassify, remove as needed. So next, we're going to want to take the description field and reclassify that to a type of text area, just to give us a little more real estate. We can scroll down here to the total amount field, and as you're seeing, this is suggested as a decimal with a number box field. Now we can go ahead and reclassify that to use the currency field that AgilePoint provides out of the box, which means we'll be able to remove the field just below. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and select the currency field here and delete the field just below because now it's redundant. So for freight terms, this is a pick list, and I know that I have an out-of-the-box pick list for freight terms. Go ahead and use that. We'll scroll further and do the same thing here for shipping method. Scroll further and do the same thing here for state. So for state, that's a text box by default, but again, we can always recategorize to a type of pick list, and I can select my existing pick list called US state. Okay, so down below, you're seeing postal code. Fortunately, AgilePoint does have a postal code control, so I'm going to reclassify that. And then lastly here, for the country or region, we do have a drop-down list for that. Country or region code, and click Save. Okay, now down towards the bottom, you're seeing the number of columns field. 4 columns would work. We can also change this to 2. Okay, we'll give my entity a little more descriptive name here. And as you can see, AgilePoint has suggested the customer PO reference as our primary field. That's going to work well because, as you recall, we changed this to a sequence number, which will give each entry its own unique identifier. Now in our case, we don't need any other application components for now. We can always add users later. But what you're going to see here is AgilePoint pre-create a number of application components for me and drop me into the UI designer experience. Okay, so as you can see here, a number of components have been pre-created. A new form where we can enter new sales orders. An update form to modify any prior entries. 3 views, all sales orders, recently created and recently modified, with a lookup for each of those views. So now, when we click OK, it's going to drop us into the form builder. Okay, so as you can see here, our interface has been completely assembled. Let's just quickly bring this up here in preview to validate the functionality. So our drop-down lists are working well. Everything seems to be in good working order, which means all that's left is to save it, check it in, publish, and we're ready to go. All right, so the first thing you're going to see here is the list view where we can view all of the previously submitted records. We have the various views that were configured earlier. So now, if we click the plus icon, we can enter a new sales order. Okay, so that concludes the content for this video. Hopefully this gives you a sense of how quickly screenshots from existing interfaces and applications can be transformed into an AgilePoint context. So whether you're looking to modernize existing ways of working or simply re-platform from another solution, as you're seeing here, generative AI using images makes that entire effort a snap. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Until next time.